Mr. Jamer, thank you for gifting 5 subs to the community. Appreciate your support. Thank you. At least 3 brand new subs there. Welcome. If you just got a sub, please give me a thank you. And don't forget, you can join Discord. And you have to wait for like an hour. And you've got loads of emotes now. PC Bay, I've not used that yet. Right. This is the old what were we doing thing now. We had something here. Diagnose and fix. Got stuff coming tomorrow, so I assume the graphics card is probably for that. Some memory coming as well. Did I leave my notes? Dude, that's my notes. I really should leave notes before I finish, shouldn't I? Discard that. I know we're doing this. We're doing Ollie Lolly Lolly's thingy. Canst thou help? Oh, that's why I was looking at Feudal Fantasy. Look. I did actually make some notes. Look, Feudal Fantasy minimum specs. Because this person wants us to build a machine, I think. It says eagerly waiting your reply, but I can't reply, so it's a bit weird. You've got 80 hours in the game, didn't know you could take notes. What do you think the Cloud Notes app was for then? Why do you have to take notes of that? You can take notes of whatever you want. But I took notes so I don't have to run the app again and find out. They only added it last month, Bigfoot. Oh, right. Well, there you go. That's why, Alex, you've got an excuse. They only added it a month ago. Got to pay the utility bill shortly. Loads of stuff. I really wish, though, you could have multiple monitors. Right. I can only assume... I think it said, like, no graphics or something. No RAM. Ah, okay. So that RAM's dead. Also Dominator Platinum 8 gig 3000 megahertz. There you go. So we'll get rid of that. Sell that. Put that one in. And see what happens. I'm not saying I'm excited, Auburn. I'm just, you know, I don't think about it, to be honest, Auburn, because if I do, then it seems to take longer, so I just put it out of my mind. What I was going to do is forest scanner, that was it. That looks a lot like the shape of the Cooler Master logo. Place in the delivery area. Okay, apparently that one's done. Let's just double check the small print. That was Good Mayo. And Good Mayo said... Plastic blue cables. We're not done yet. Don't think there's any others that I can see that are coloured. I'll have to make sure it boots again now. Scumbag. Okay, that should work. Five stars. Nice. Let's go to that one. Back in business. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, is this the one we're making? This is the one we're making for the feudal game, I think. That's a Cosmos case. I thought it was a Cooler Master. I definitely recognized it. Steinbeck, diagnose and fix. Upgrade to 32 gig. Oh, this is Ollie Lol's case. This is the machine that we built. Can you upgrade the RAM? Maybe chuck in some RGB lighting. Oh, what did we do about the RGB? Because that was a bit of a problem. Was that an RGB cooler or something? RGB. Was it that? I've got a feeling we were going to stick that on though, wasn't we? To get the RGB done for him. Was the cooler. All right, let's pop that off then. Bit of toothpaste. CPU cooling. Right, so that's that fitted. Memory. Looks a lot like that. Because he had like a really small budget, didn't he? Even though we just won a tournament, he had a really small budget. There we go. We should probably already have the virus scanning tool on though. Just to make sure he hasn't picked up any nasties. Wait, isn't there like an RGB app? Hang on a sec. Let's try this. I think there's like an RGB app you can install. Lighting, there we go. A LAN party tournament, yeah. He basically had a tournament between him and his two mates at school. Select all lights. There you go. Let's give him full NVIDIA lighting. What is that like? Oh, it actually works, look. It's actually gone green. That'll do him. He used to get like a glass case, really. Wait, why is the upgrade to... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. A bit more RAM needs to go in here yet. There you go, mate. If I remember, we did that for like a really tight budget, like $300 or something. There you are, $350. What's wrong with it? Replace customer parts. No, you stupid game. Does it actually want me to put his cooler back? No way. That's so dumb. I can't give him... Oh, that's so dumb. I can't give him his PC back because the game wants us to put his cooler back in, even though we've given him an RGB cooler because he wanted RGB. That is so stupid. That is somewhat frustrating. Like, we've given him a way better cooler. He's got RGB lighting, and the game won't let us do it. Yeah, well, we couldn't get him fans for the amount of money he had. We couldn't make it work with that budget. That is honestly the dumbest thing. I feel like emailing the guy going, well, you would have got a lovely computer, but... Well, he gave us a 5-star review anyway. Go figure that one. Okay, so this won't boot at all. So, could be the power supply, could be the motherboard. Okay, it's not his power supply. It's got to be the board then, right? Wait, wasn't this machine... We fitted this, didn't we? You bet it's a PSU. How much was you going to bet, Firefighter? I'm sure we did this installation. Nah, if it was RAM, it would start up. If it doesn't start up, it literally means motherboard or PSU. Because if you hear it power on, it means the PSU and the motherboard are fine. If nothing appears on the screen, it basically means it's the CPU, usually, or the graphics card. If something appears on the screen, but then it goes no memory, it's the memory. There's literally an order that you can go through. Oh, I can't remove. Oh, God. I have to order my new board. A Z270, but we'll just confirm it's broken and not the CPU. Okay. Yep, that's broken. Your CPU's fine. So we just need a new Z270 MSI Gaming Pro Carbon. Oh, we've got one in stock, apparently. Unless that's the broken one. Yeah, it's a broken one. All right, that's on the order list. Okay, let's see what about this one. I think this is the one that we're making. Did we order the stuff for this? I can't remember. Is that this one? $1,000 budget. No, it is tomorrow. There's nothing coming tomorrow. We've got all the stuff here. But I don't think we've got a motherboard unless we was going to use... We don't seem to have. We don't seem to have ordered a motherboard. But I don't think we ordered the parts, if I'm honest. Like, we might be alright for PSUs, actually. We have a brand new bronze 450. We have this one we could use. Because they're on a $1,000 budget, right? Graphics card, we need an R9 to 83G. Which we have a few of. So we could stick one of these in. Keep it cheap. We have CPUs. Have plenty of them. What was the minimum? Ryzen 5 6-core 1600 is the minimum. Which we don't have in stock. But anything on this list would be fine. Actually, we're going to have to order it. We don't have that. We're going to have to buy a Ryzen 5 6-core. I think we're getting the X for an extra $10, so we're getting there. We need a motherboard for that to go into, so that's a socket AM4 motherboard. Sort by, price descending. Needs 8 gig of RAM, so it doesn't need to be quick RAM. What case did we have? An MSI MPG Mag Vampiric. That's this one. So we can take a Mini 8 ITX, a Micro ATX, SATX, and EATX. And the PSU size is ATX, which we have. So we just need to get a motherboard, this AM4 socket. That is Mini, Micro, S or E. That's an S. Funnily enough, that computer has one. We could just order 2 of them. Wrong socket. That's true. What if we just get the Gigabyte one? We can get one of these 2. Actually, this one. That's got RGB on it. Not that it matters. Mr. Koala Bear. I need to say your name completely wrong. Mr. Koala Bear, thank you very much. Get the cheapo one. I was thinking of just getting RGB on it for the lols, but... I mean, this is a Micro, this is an S. They both fit. Quite a look at the cheap one, though, to be fair. If you get an X version, wouldn't you need a good motherboard to overclock? No, it says here the socket is AM4. That one is Intel. This is these two here are AMD because of the socket. I'll get them this. We're saving them loads of money anyway. So we can do 3200 memory. See if we've got any RAM in stock. We have 4 gig of 2400, but it needs 8 gig. $16 gig, 8 gig. They don't need memory as expensive as the motherboard. Yeah, but the budget's like $1,000. We're not even going to get anywhere near this. I feel like we would like massively cheapen out on them. Gamix D10 4 gig. It's that one, isn't it? $40 memory. There you go, that's that ordered. It's always been that. Zero Hat's been like that for years, mate. Zero Heat. In fact, it used to be $5 before bits came out. What was I going to say? Yes, we've got memory. We're going to put the Ryzen 6 core on though. We need a cooler for it probably, unless we've got an AM4 cooler. We could probably just use that. That's a socket AM4. 150 mil height. That can do 170, that's fine. We've got the CPU, we've got the cooler, we've got the motherboard ordered, the memory ordered. Graphics cards we have in stock. We don't have any storage ordered. We have a 1 terabyte lying around, but I think 40 gig storage. Let's get them a cheap SSD if we can. Yeah, we'll get them one of these. 60 gig. Stick that in there. Power supply we have. Should have enough power. Cables done. Case fans, we haven't ordered any case fans, but we have a bunch of case fans. Actually, what's the size of the cases? Case fans, max radiator fans, 3 120 mil. So as long as you've got 120 mil, which we do, plenty of them. I think we're good. Can't believe it went so cheap on the RAM. But this is the problem with the game. It's like it gives you $1,000 budget, but doesn't give you an incentive to give them. Let's put it this way, right? The game needs to drive you in the right direction. If the customer says, I have $1,000 budget and here I need it to run this game, and you can basically build a PC for like $400 that'll run that game, what do? Do you A, go cheap and make it cost $400 and use second-hand parts because they're not bothered and make it even cheaper? Or do you B, give them a machine that goes right up to their budget and will last them for years? And the game does not incentivize you to do either of those things. So you end up just putting together these weird PCs that you think, well, with that budget, I could actually get you a lot more, but there's literally no point. I know they pay for the parts, Larry, so therefore there's no incentive for me to do it. If I max out their budget or minimize their budget, there is literally no difference to me. I still get paid the labor charge and they pay for all the parts. And that's what I'm saying. There's no incentive for the player to do one thing or the other. It should give you a bonus for doing something. Like, you know, if the customer said, I can afford up to 1,000, but if you could keep it under 800, I'd be really appreciative. And if you get it under 800, they give you an extra star or something. Then, you know what I mean? Like, it needs to steer you in the direction, not just give you a massive budget and say, build me a machine that will only cost $400. For your clients, you always go top and budget. Are you talking about in the game or in real life? For you, it's better to use used parts or not, you'll get paid for them. Yeah, but if you send the price that they charge, like these fans here, I can sell them for $2. I don't know how much they are new. They'll basically pay like if they're brand new, they'll pay cost price. If they're not brand new, they'll pay me the second-hand value plus a bit more. Yeah, but Korea, if a real person says to you, this is my budget, you'll get them the best machine you can for the budget. And if I do that here, if I sit here and spend an extra 10 minutes researching the best thing I can get them for their money, I will get no benefit over just spending 2 minutes knocking up a PC that fits the minimum requirement. Whereas in real life, you're invested in giving that customer the best PC for the money because they're going to come back. They're going to be like, I'm so happy with this. I'll come back the next time I need a PC, or I'll tell my friends about you. Yeah? You spend a few hours a week on Reddit doing this for people and I find out there's a game for this. Yes, there is indeed a game for this. Anyway, I think we've got everything we need for that build. So let's look at some new jobs that are going to come in. What is this? Landscape.
Hello, Happy New Year. Cheer 1500.
2KS Delta. Thank you for 1,500 bits. And because you put the cheer 1,500 in there, I actually read it out. Thank you very much for the support. I hope you have a great new year. Is your honors rollout to esports ladder? All you could do is discard anyway. It's just basically trying to get you to buy the DLC, I think. I need to repair my rig. I kicked the PC by accident. Vents got a bit clogged. Fine. Red plastic cables, easy. Replace the motherboard, replace the RAM. Okay, so we can get the order in ahead of time. Replace the RAM is going to be Sean Titan 4 gig 2133. Sean Titan 4 gig 2133. Add that to the thing. And then the motherboard wants replacing. So that's the A320M Fortune. That's that one. And complete by in 3 days. Okay, so that's the parts ordered. We'll accept that. New rig. Can I trust you to build me a decent computer? I really want to be able to run Football Manager 2017. It's urgent, so please hurry. I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones. Did you ever think of buying the 10% share in the business? How much does it cost? How do you do it, and how much does it cost? $5,000. Wow. I'll probably do it at some point. You mean this one? You mean this one here, paying $5,000? I spent $3,000 on the fast cable thing first. If you buy 10%, doesn't it mean that you just get to change the name on the door or something? And what benefit do you get when you buy it? Time for some great deals. Go away. Money. You get money. Explain. My PC is super sluggish. I need to hit at least 3576 in benchmarks. I'd like 16 gig of RAM. My brother has Corsair. Okay, we'll just we'll get that in and then have a look at it. There's no benefit, I don't think. You have to save, but you have to save to get 25% after. Right. You get 10% of his monthly earnings. Lol. So every month you get a bonus. Well, the other thing is, Busman, look what just happened when we swapped that guy's CPU cooler for a better one. The game went, no, you have to give him his cooler back. I never accept any job that wants more than 3,500 in bench. Right, where's the will it run thing? Football Manager 2017. Oh, look at those specs. An Intel Pentium 4400. Do you know what we could do here? We could almost give him our PC and just build ourselves a nice one. Like, we've got the exact CPU. I don't know where this comes into it. GTX 970 Gamer. Gamer 100. Gamer XL. What's this one? Just a gamer. That's down at number 43 on the list. That's down at number 70. So literally our computer would actually meet his specs. Minimum specs. Did he say he wanted? Ah, but he said no use parts. He wants a brand new computer, so that's no good. The job wanted the recommended spec. Right. Yeah, not only that, it wants it new. So we just literally buy the parts, I guess. Get $443 in labor and $2,000 budget. You see what I mean? Look at this. Look at the specs here. $2,000. It's not even a problem. We could water cool it for that. You would build him the best PC for $2,000 is a good challenge. Okay. What are we building for $2,000 then? Let's have a look. I get my notepad to make sure we're costing this right. Hey, i7 AIR, you want to go the whole ham, do you? Let's start with the motherboard, actually. Sort by price. So it's the most expensive motherboard we can get him. That's quite a nice one. Kaby Lake. Wait a minute. The best CPU that you can get currently in the game is the Ryzen 8 core. If you want to go ham. You can go SLI? What, to play Football Manager? There's like RTX in it now. Ryzen 8 core. A Ryzen 8 core, the most we can spend is 370. Yeah? On a Ryzen 8 core. Let's stick that in there. And then motherboard. So we want the socket AM4 version. That's 210. Right? So that's CPU and motherboard. For the cooling, we're going to get him some kind of liquid. Let's see. Let's go full ham. Do you want a full-size radiator, double stack or single? And should we overclock it as well for him? Right, we'll get the X52, right? So we need, which is that, 150. So we need to make sure we've got a 240mm space in the case. So the case is important now. What have we ordered? Gigabyte, CPU. Yeah, so we've got that lot. We've got the cooling, we've got the CPU, we've got the motherboard. Let's get some memory in there. His motherboard is maximum speed 3600. How much memory do we give him? You can take 3600, but we only have 3400. Give him a 16 gig stick. 16 gig, no problem. 3200 Corsair Dominator White. Well, I don't know the color scheme we're going to go for yet. Let's put white in there, reflect the colors better. 64 gig as if, bro. We have another graphics card. Yeah, that's going to be 500. Hang on, we'll stick one in there for now. We'll see if we've got the budget left at the end. No, it doesn't. The profit margin's irrelevant because the guy pays the parts. Whatever parts we pick, he will pay. And then we'll get our labor on top. Right, we'll go full ham, 980 Ti Golden Edition. So the length of that is 277 mil. So that's one of them ordered. Storage space. Let's see, we want SSD in here, don't we? We can't do NVMe yet. Get one of these, nice monster. Well, I don't know what cards you can unlock later. I mean, he's going to play Football Manager 2017. How much space does he need? Recommended. He needs 2 gigabytes of storage, so therefore we'll give him 480. There you go. $190 there. Power supply. What else have we got? Power supply. ATX power. 750 watts. That'll do. $140. Oh no, we'll give him the red hydro. That looks nice. It's $140 there. Cables we've gone. Cases. We need a clear side case. He's got to be able to see everything. This one, I reckon. It's nice and tidy. Will that take the full rad? 4 times 120 or 3 140s. That'll do. Is 750 enough for that card? Yeah, it'll be fine. What do you mean go for a cheaper case? You don't cheap out on the case, bro. Why would you cheap out on the case? You want to give him a next then? 2 120 fans? I don't know if that's going to be enough, you know. We've got quite a big cooler coming in. We need to allow for a cooler that's 240 mil. You know, we're not going to give him top whack and then cheap out on the case. Come on. It's got RGB on it, that one. Max GPU length, that's fine. Max CPU fan, max radio fans. This one then. The MSI MPG Shakira. Because it sounds like Shakira. My main requirement is like a glass panel on the side. I think we should go Shakira. Let's go Shakira. We need to make sure that the PSU's ATX and Mini ES Micro. That's S, that's fine. Right, let me just add this up. I think I might have forgotten to add something then. I don't know if I added the case or not. How much was Shakira? 220. I didn't add Shakira. 220 on the end. Right, so we've currently got budget, right, 220. Actually, I can tell you because we've got 2,900 minus 910. 1,990. Which is $10 off his budget. I think. No, wait a sec. I've added up. No, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. It will be $10 off his budget. I make it. What do you mean a light fan? You want to put case fans? If you put case fans in there, it's going to go over budget now. No, I haven't bought any fans. We haven't bought any of these. This will blow the budget. It doesn't care about single channel RAM. Neil Kodo, thank you for 56 months. That's true. Some of the cases do come with fans. I don't know if the case if Shakira comes with any. I don't know. I don't know if it comes with fans. It doesn't say. If it does, we can use them. If it doesn't, we'll rip. All right, let's get the email. Let's get that accepted. We'll get that order put in. That's a lot of stuff, man. Oh my god. That's a lot of stuff. Got to pay our utility bill, I think. Now we're skint. Perfect timing. Your electricity bill is $198. We'll pay that. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Hope you enjoyed your electricity. Since when does anybody send an email like that? Hi, this is nPower. We hope you enjoy our electricity. What? Right. Let's have a look. We've got machines on the desk here. We need to get rid of some of this first. This is the motherboard, wasn't it? Right. If only I could remember which motherboard we're putting back. Broken. That. It's got to be that one then. It's got to be this. Sell that. Put that one back in. Right, CPU, it's going to be that one. Get this cooler back on. Okay, that's that bit. It's the memory and graphics card. Okay, cables now. Should we put blue cables on? Let's put that on that. Company policy to do a virus scan. Wait, what? The hard mode? I didn't even know it had one. Okay, looks like we're good here. Wait, is that? Oh, great. Okay, we're done. Thomas Steinbeck. 4 stars, apparently. Because he wanted red cables and I put blue ones in there. Oh well. Tough. This is the build that we're doing. You see, we've got 2 computer builds on the go now. This is not good. This is the Final Fantasy one, I think, isn't it? MSI MPG Mag. Motherboard. Oh, boy. I know that this one's for the other machine. Is it? Which one of these is it? Yeah, oh, you need a sticky note. That's true. Well, no, hang on. Axemaster. 1 second. Axemaster's the one that wants the Final Fantasy machine, which is this one. So that's Axemaster there, isn't it? So that's Axemaster's machine.
Hey Paul. Long time no see. Happy New Year to you and your family. I hope you're well. How much would I be looking to spend on a custom-built PC for it to handle all the latest games without any issue?
Well, that's $1 million question right there, Harry. 1 sec. That one as well. Harry, that's one of those questions that's very difficult to answer. So, handle all the latest games without issue. At what resolution? At what frame rate? That's the tricky one. Let's say you're going to go 1080. Let's say you're going to go 60 FPS minimum. You're probably looking, without water cooling of any kind, just stop. You're probably looking at like 1300 to 1700 ish, depending on the storage. But yeah, if you go to like PC Part Picker and just start, or even just go to a site where they do like PC Specialist or something, where they just do a pre-built and look at that for the money. Tatton Hill Radio, thank you for 2 months. But yeah, good to hear from you, Harry. It's a tricky question to answer, that one. It's better if you're a bit more specific, like you say, I want a PC that can play these couple of games at 1080, but I need like 120 FPS. Because the question like that is hard to answer. You've not said if you want a keyboard and a mouse and a monitor, or if you have you already got those and you're just swapping the box out, or you're liking like a complete new machine. Is there any parts that you've currently got that you could potentially bring over to the new machine? There's a lot of variables. Liam, New Year was good. Yeah, my neighbours were pretty good this year. They weren't really setting off many fireworks at all, which is kind of weird. Did you get any PO Box stuff? Yes, Larry, we opened a lot of PO Box on Boxing Day. So the day after Boxing Day, I think. And on Christmas Day, I think. No, Boxing Day, I opened a lot of them. Right, can anybody remember which motherboard we was using for this build? Because I've not made any notes. Because you guys are my notes. Cloud notes. So, I mean, we had this minimum spec here. It was the Ryzen 6 core, wasn't it? The Ryzen 6 core, so it's got to be an AM motherboard. And they're all AM motherboards, so that's not used. Gigabyte with RGB. So it's this one, was it? You thought the A320 tune was for a fix. Maybe I should just do the fix first and then... Hang on. Upgrade. Replace motherboard and RAM. If we do that one first, that'll eliminate some part. Oh my god. Look at the size of this case, and then look at the size of the motherboard. Okay, so what is that? That is the... Yeah, that's the A320 motherboard. So we know that goes in there. Replace the RAM as well. That's that out of that. Bright green cables. J-Web, thank you for 10 minutes. Okay, A320's done. Get the toothpaste on that. Memory, Titan 4 gig. That's the card. Okay, so bright green cables it is. Former raisin. Let's just double check it didn't want any kind of... Oh, there you go. Red cables. He wants red cables now. It's JME. Thank you for a yes, sir. Enjoy that new sub badge. Plain cables. Okay, hopefully that's enough for him. When did I buy auto cable? Last time we played it, I bought the auto cable for like $3,000, which makes life a heck of a lot easier. Any big plans for 2021, Liam? Nah. Literally just get back to normal. I'd like to go on holiday at some point. That would be nice. Fancy just going somewhere, lying by a pool for a while. That's kind of how I feel. Right, delivery area, farmer raisin done. Collect 5 stars. Nice. Thanks, Liam. Same for you. If you have an i7 6700, can you point an i9 9900K? You'd have to check the socket mostly and the BIOS. Whether your motherboard can support it and the socket. If the socket's the same, then potentially. Right, that one there is the one that I said we'll just get in and have a look at. So that's fine. So we'll just go back to this motherboard. So that's definitely going to be this motherboard going in here. Let's pop that. Okay, CPU. This is the 1600, I believe. That one. Ryzen 5 6-core 1600. Double check the notes. Yep.
I ideally want it to run games at least at 120 FPS. 1080p would be perfect. I'm only looking at a new machine as everything else I have is more than capable for what I would need for gaming. My current PC is 5 years old and...
Parts aren't that powerful. I don't know why it stopped reading that. I assume you've got the monitor. I assume you've got a 120 hertz monitor then. Harry, I would probably budget about £1,500-ish around that bracket. Assuming you're in pounds. If you're in dollars, probably 1,800. I mean, the funny thing is, Harry, you can save money on CPU. Like, if you're only going to game with it, you can get like a fast i5, which sounds ridiculous, but it absolutely is fine if you're only gaming. You save money on your i5, you can spend money on the graphics card. But it's a bit like playing whack-a-mole trying to build a PC, because like you try and like knock the price down on something, and something else pops up, and then you know what I mean? It's literally like a balancing act between all the different components. Yeah, I mean, what Karita says, just look at what some of your favorite gamers are playing. Look at their build, and then just do something similar. Just knock something back on that. I saw you got Barry's tea. Was it nice? I haven't tried it yet. I'm still on Yorkshire tea at the moment. Crikey, which RAM was we putting in here? It was this stuff, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, we had one of these used. Oh, wait a minute. Did he say new? Or I've got a feeling this guy said new only. That's not good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't actually say new. You reckon you can do that for $1,000? Interesting, Loaf. Interesting. So what graphics card would you go for, Loaf, if you were going to go for that budget? I mean, these days, the graphics card is more or less a significant chunk of change, isn't it? Indeed, Poker, indeed. You should put them both in the red or the black. But the game literally doesn't care. No, Baz. I'll tell you what, Baz, just for you. Just for you, mate. Just for you. There you go. There you go. Let's get fully triggered. I'll show you how much the game cares about this. Right, what cooler was we going to go for? It was one of this, wasn't it? The used one, I think. Just going to stick that on there. Graphics card. Now, the graphics card's quite specific, isn't it? Isn't it the R9 something? I think it's these. The 280. I think it was one of them. RAM anarchy. So that's that in the storage. Where are we putting the storage? On the back somewhere. Do you know what? I can't remember what it said we were going to do about the storage. Oh, the 60 gig, I think. Yeah, it was that one. Stick that in the slot there, I'll do. The best thing is, like, you have to remove the back case to put the hard drive or SSD into the slot, but then you can put the back plane back on and then cable it up, no problem. which is just like, huh? Right, PSU, power supply. I think we're going to stick this one in there. Oh, you scumbag. Power supply, let's get that in there. Let's put the PCR lock back on. Nerdy Drew, thank you for 45 months in total. It's not a bad card. What, this one? I guess we should go with like red cables. Wait a minute, this didn't come with any case fans? I feel cheated. Power supply, storage, case fans. Put some of these on there. I think 2 is more than enough. See what it does. That's what you did with your current system back in 2019. Start with a budget of $2,000. Indeed, Slain. That's the way to do it, man. We'll put this on there, and then we'll put Will It Run on there as well. Wait, is this an RGB case? I'm thinking maybe I should have put the lighting tool on.
My 2 other questions to ask you would be how many CPU cores should I be looking for and what's better for gaming SSDs or M.2 drives?
Okay. So in terms of cores, I think the rule of thumb is something like if you're playing DirectX games, then they can't use more than 4 cores at a time or something. And if you're Vulkan, it's like you want at least 6 or 8. But in terms of like, I think given the way games are going, if you want this to last for a few years, which I assume you do, and games are becoming more threaded, you don't want to be doing 4. I'd go at least 6, and then with your hyper threading or whatever on top, you're going to effectively have like 12 virtual. So 6 cores, maybe 8 cores. That's pretty good for gaming. In terms of SSDs or M.2 drives, so just to be specific, M.2 is the shape, not the speed, right? So SSDs do about 500 megabytes a second as a data rate throughput maximum, and then NVMe drives do about 5 times that, so about 2,500. But there are quicker ones now, depending on whether you go PCIe 4 or not. But I would recommend that you get an NVMe drive, an NVMe M.2, right, which is this. It's like a stick that goes into the motherboard slot. If you use that as your main operating system boot drive, that means your machine will run nice and quickly. Your games, you can install your games on SSD. I have my games on SSD. Yeah. So I would recommend that you get an NVMe drive of at least 500 gigabytes and then put your operating system and your main apps on there. yeah, and you'll have a lovely quick machine. And then you could get yourself like say a half or a 1 terabyte SSD, and then put all your games on that. And that's a pretty decent setup for the money. If you want to go full ham, just go NVMe all the way. But you're on a budget, like everybody. I mean, the motherboard I got one with 2 NVMe slots on it, and I put 2 NVMe M.2 drives on it. So I have 2 sticks of RAM, and they go literally clip onto the motherboard. And then I have 2 SSDs, you know, in the back. One for backup and one for scenery of flight sim and stuff. But again, you know, it comes down to your budget. If you've got the money for it, NVMe is the fastest you can get. Whereas, and then NVMe, SSD, hard drive, and there's roughly like a ×5 factor speed between them, roughly. You run Microsoft Flight Sim on your SSD, and then on your hard drive, you notice a visible difference. Oh, crikey, yeah, absolutely. For scenery, if you're doing Flight Sim, you want your scenery on SSD if you can. It will load so much quicker. And then when you get in SSDs, Samsung Evos are a good bet. You can get the cheaper QVO, but I wouldn't recommend it. The Evo's a good sweet spot. And for your NVMe stick, they do a nice Pro version if you can afford it. Lighting, select all, lighting effect, breathe. Meh. Static rainbow. That rainbow's running way too quickly. You should be able to control, there you go, speed. Oh, that's ridiculous. There you go. That's better. That's a bit better. You build, you want 500 gig NVMe for boot, 1 terabyte for games, and 2 terabyte SSD for backup. Use Samsung Evo Pro version. No. The Evo is different to the Pro. So Samsung make 3 categories: the QVO, the EVO, and the Pro. Right. So the Pro version, if I'm trying to get this right now, the Pro version uses one NAND gate per bit, one of the gates per bit stored, which is the most secure. Evo uses 2 bits per gate, I think, and then QVO uses 4 bits per gate, or it could be 1, 2, and 8. I can't remember. The bottom line is that the Pro version is the most reliable, and they give you, like, I can't remember the warranties, at least 2 years. And then the Evo, I think they give you a year, something like that. Put it this way: if the data is really important to you and you don't want it to fail, go Pro, but it'll cost you more money. If you don't really care about the data because it's backed up somewhere else and you just want a speedy SSD, but if the data goes, you're fine, get the QVO. And if you want the sweet spot, get the Evo. Q for quad, that's right, Wyland, yeah. So it is 4 bits per gate for the QVO, and 2 bits per gate for the Evo, and 1 bit per gate for the Pro. And if you don't know what that means, you need to look up how SSD stores the data to understand it. If you want like another way of doing it is you could get like 2 QVO drives and then like RAID 1 them, so you mirror it across the 2. I mean, that could work. Yeah, absolutely, Draco. Yeah, I mean, you could get QVOs, right, and then put the data on it, but then have it in your Backblaze. So have it backed up in Backblaze. So if you lose it, you don't care. Yeah, QVO is great for games. That is true, Crowd Daddy. Yeah, that's a good example. Because with games, if you put your installation on there, if you tell Steam to install on your QVO drive, and then your QVO drive dies, it doesn't matter because you can reinstall the games easily enough. But you don't put your documents on the QVO drive because you care about that data. It's, can I get this data back, or is it, do I absolutely rely on it? QVO on a PS4. I'm not surprised. Right, will it run? What's this final? Is this Football Manager one? Was this the build for Football Manager? Oh no, Feudal Fantasy. 1 second. Recommended. I hope the job was for minimum spec. Right, we've done it. Yay! Let's put the cover back on. Let's see. We spent $684 out of the $1,000 budget. You see, so we saved the customer $300, but will we benefit? No. All right, X-Master. You still use hard drives? Yeah, I mean, the only hard drives I use are the ones that are in my NAS drive. My PC has no moving parts now, apart from the coolant pump. But it has no hard drives. But there's nothing wrong with a hard drive for backup. And you know, you could have it. You could have like an 8 terabyte hard drive in your machine, right? And then just tell it to power down after 30 minutes, right? So the only time it actually powers on is when your backup program runs every night to back up your stuff to that drive. That's a perfectly fine way of doing things. Where do you store large video files? On my NAS drive. So I have a Synology 8-bay NAS drive, and each drive, what size did it go for? Each drive is 6 terabytes, I think. So it's a sum total of 48 terabytes in the bay. But then I have one as a hot spare, and then I have RAID 5 across it, so one's used for the parity. So effectively, I have six terabyte drives of storage. One drive is parity, and then the final drive is a hot spare. And then I have another spare hard drive in the drawer over here just in case the hot spare fails, because I care about that data. And that's what happens when you do video editing. You end up with enormous files, and you have to put them somewhere. And that's not the end of it. I have a second NAS drive, and I have 6 hard drives, 3 of which are used full of video files from like 2014, 2015, and they're duplicated onto another set of identical hard drives. So, yeah. I mean, if I put all that in the cloud, in Backblaze Cloud, I'm probably going to be paying about $200-300 a month just to have it there. Or I put it on multiple drives and just leave it. Yeah, it should, Retute Bandits. It absolutely should be in a separate... Like, literally, my point of failure, I guess, for that data is if the house burns down. Because they're all on the NAS drive. It's not like the data's... The data's, like, not... All the stuff that it's on there is on YouTube. So YouTube's storing it for me anyway. The reason I keep it is because it's a much higher encoded bit rate than what's on YouTube. And so one day I might want to upload it to a different platform, and I don't want to lose all the resolution of YouTube encoding from 2016. Yeah, I've got like a higher bitrate recording. So it's not like critical data. My critical data is in Backblaze Cloud every night. Like it's on the NAS drive and then it's backed up every night in the cloud. That's the critical data. I could lose this and it would be painful, but it's not the end of the world. You need a fire safe. Yeah, I mean, but then I might get hit by a meteor. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, where do you draw the line here? The only true way to store your data safely is to have it in multiple locations. We can sync our NAS, Whiteland, yeah? Just I sync my data to your NAS, you sync yours to mine, and then we've got a UK Norwegian backup. Probably take it a month to synchronize, Whiteland. Fire safe in a bunker. I don't have a bunker, that's the point. Right. Anyway, we're kind of getting off track here, aren't we? So let's try and build this machine.